The wet season continues, and we now have an adverse weather alert at the yellow level in effect. The Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service saying that from Wednesday 10 a.m. to Thursday 2 p.m., especially for Trinidad in particular, could be seeing a street flash flooding, landslides or landslips, and also some gusty winds of 65 kilometers per hour. Now, what you should be doing during a yellow level is bearing in mind that there are potential impacts from the various hazards, including the possibility of traffic disruptions, etc. And also be mindful that you should be monitoring the television and online. Now, the main reason why we're looking at this adverse weather alert is that we have a tropical wave coming through, but we also have the ITCZ. And this is likely to bring a lot more activity across the southern Windward Islands as we go through Tuesday. So be mindful about that later into Wednesday as well, and continuing as you go into a Thursday, eventually beginning to peter out by Friday. So looking at Tobago, it will be a relatively settled night. Clear skies expected for the most part. But do watch out from once you get into the middle of your morning. Watch for the clouds to begin to build through Roxborough, coming into Charlottesville and into Scarborough as well. And you'll notice a few showers coming through. There's a possibility of a shower that could turn heavy or thundery across Tobago, but most of this activity will likely be for Trinidad. So this is where we'll see some of the heavier bursts arriving throughout the morning. So especially from mid-morning across eastern areas of Trinidad, watch out for the thicker cloud to build, thunder showers coming through Valencia, into Piarco, as well as into Diego Martin, and the possibility of street or flash flooding in some of those downpours. For central and southern areas of Trinidad, you will also notice the clouds are building through your morning. Some of the thickest cloud will be coming into Guaraguari, Pinal, eventually making its way towards San Fernando. Some thunderstorms will likely be accompanied by those gusty winds, about 65 kilometers per hour. So it could also make walking quite difficult in some of those downpours. Temperature-wise, looking at maybe struggling to get to 32 degrees Celsius by day, 31 expected across Tobago. Now, those are winds from the east at 20 knots. As we said, could be getting higher than that, up to 40 knots, maybe even up to 50 as we go through the day. So be mindful about that. Also, some moderate choppy seas out in the Atlantic, 2 to 2.5 meters expected. And we have a high tide at 3 a.m. and a low tide at 9:45 a.m. Now, the rest of the week seems as though we'll see a lot of that moisture hanging over on Thursday, and then eventually we may see a break on Friday, and then we have yet another tropical wave set to come by on Saturday. So there'll be a bit of a break on Friday, and then we'll see more rainfall on Saturday. Now, August is typically the wettest month of the year in Trinidad, and we have had a shortfall from June and July, so we definitely need rainfall over the next few days. Now, it's a completely different story across the Leeward Islands. They'll be continuing to see hazy conditions, some dry Saharan air as well, pushing into the Dominican Republic as they go through their Wednesday and Thursday. So not much expected here. Out towards Havana, some daytime showers are expected with highs of 32 degrees Celsius. But that haze remains across the Eastern Caribbean, at least north of St. Vincent. Once you get into Grenada, down towards Tobago and where we are, you'll see a lot of the cloudiness as well as some downpours further south into Georgetown, only a high of 31 degrees Celsius. So on Wednesday, be mindful of the adverse weather alert in effect from Wednesday at 10 a.m. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.